Welcome everyone to beautiful Hill City, Minnesota. The site is Park X, the third stop of the WSA Snocross Worldwide Championship Tour. I'm Robbie Floyd along with Greg Creamer, Jerry Bernardo, on a beautiful day in a very demanding course.
Absolutely beautiful day. Temperatures 37 degrees for a high, winds not bad, and sunny with some shadow in the trees. Great for the racers. The weather is absolutely perfect for this. And of course you've got the standard WSA race format. 3 rounds of qualifying, you earn points in each round. At the end, the top 10 qualifiers go right to the final. The next 10 go to the last chance qualifier, which will make up the back row of 5. And what they have to do is overcome one of the most historical and daunting tracks on the circuit.
That is Snocross, and you will be seeing here in just a moment, just to the left. This is Pro Stock. We'll be covering 2 classes today, Pro Stock, Pro Open, and now it's time for heat race number 4 of round number 3. There is Blair Morgan.
What I like about this one as we watch it go green is there's a great mix of top pros and top upcoming young riders, and the pro does it again.
Going up that uphill, Snocross, very famous. This is the site of the very first Snocross event in North America. A lot of majesty, a lot of history in this facility.
Yep, 1981 is where it all began right here. And this run down Snocross, and you can see that it is a violent series of huge moguls, and it is very steep downhill. That the name Snocross, if you've been a fan of snowcross racing since its inception, if you're a fan, it brings excitement. If you're a racer, it just brings fear. But we got to climb up here, and a good battle back there for third. Now this is a climb. This is part of the track that wasn't used in the earlier days because of the skiing on the other side. And Christensen now moves in. He's one of the Polaris riders right there, and he's coming up to challenge Ken Ibsen.
Ken Ibsen, rider number 40 on the Arctic Cat. There is Christensen's seat bouncing, trying to make that double. And boy, this course, suspension has to, it has to work flawlessly, but also the body. Your body has to be in tune with the sled.
Everything's got to be working together, exactly right. And the suspension aspect of it, you need to have confidence that the suspension's going to do what you want it to do, and thus your body can control the sled. Nobody better at that than this guy right here, Blair Morgan.
Blair Morgan, again, earlier this year, broke his leg racing motocross, also has an injured back. The guy could not even walk until about a month and a half ago. Now he's out there leading this heat race. And by the way, he finished 4th and 1st in his other 2 heat races. Not too bad.
Not bad at all. We've got a great scrap shaping up here. This is for second. That is Justin Tate, the Amsoil Polaris, in front of Mike Island, the Bud Light Skidoo. And Island working his way down the hill, actually losing some ground. And that downhill run, as we get a good look at Island, that new section of track, the uphill's real choppy. We're just calling that head ease because that's the direction. But there's a double apex left-hander. But that downhill run is almost more difficult than Snocross because of the lack of rhythm. It just handcuffs the riders on the way down it. Snocross is brutal, but you can see you can get into a little pattern on it, Robbie. Coming down that other one, there's no rhyme or reason to it, and it's just fighting for a decent line.
Right, you are fighting with your machine, just trying to keep it pinned, but again, if you do, you land on the face of those other hits, and that will slow you down as well. Taking a look at Ken Ibsen, rider number 40. Ryan Simon starting to catch up again. Kafka just in front of him. Look at how rough it is. Oh, almost going over the bars right there. And that just shows you how tough it is. Just when you think everything's fine, it tries throwing you over the handlebar.
Oh, it's very unpredictable indeed. And here's that downhill run. And look at it. You're just pounding the faces, pounding the faces. And now here's your battle. That is Eric Christensen and Ken Ibsen. A little surprised to see Ibsen back this far. And it still gives you an idea of what you're going to do in terms of a hole shot and how crucial that is. But Ibsen, that big win in Duluth in this category, and just struggling a little bit here. Now here's a wide shot down Snocross, and you look for that smoothest line, and you just pound it. That turn at the bottom. If you're in a battle, Robbie, and you got to get to this finish line, like in 2 laps, as Wade is signaling, that turn at the bottom is brutal.
Take a look at Ken Ibsen right there. Remember the last time we saw him at Winnipeg, that Canadian Open? He was black flag in this race, so he's looking for a little bit of revenge right now. And there's Mike Island on that Bud Light machine. Mike really in that 3rd spot, but not doing too well today. A 6th and a 5th in his first 2 heats. So he needs to move up if he has a chance to make it directly into the final. He's got to ride LCQ.
There's no question that he has got to ramp it up a little bit. Speaking of which, look at Ryan Simon. That is the guy who had that awesome 3rd place finish in one of the pro finals earlier in the year. Just a great showing. And Justin Tate looks like he's closing. He is. He's reeling Morgan in.
Reeling him in on the downhill of Snocross on the inside. He has so much better position. just shut the door right there on Blair Morgan. Now the white flag out. That means we're on the last lap. All right, Morgan, show me what you got here. You have the line that you want. How smooth can you make it up that downhill? And nobody's making it up very smooth, having to clap the face of those jumps.
Yep, now Morgan trying an outside line, but that was right where Tate went. And Morgan's trying to, that was a great idea by Blair. He went wide to give himself a little bit more ramp down the hill, but Tate found a good drive down the hill. Look at Morgan, he just chromed off that face, and that's got to smart.
Normally in most racing circumstances, you get points for a final, but here in Snocross, you get points for your heats. Generally, I'd say, well, Morgan doesn't mind letting him by, but he just lost points coming into the championship points tally at the end of the year.
Oh, without question. I mean, he was just passed. He didn't let anybody go. And here we go, the checkered flag coming out, and Justin Tate taking, I think, a bit of a surprise win. Nothing against Justin, but Morgan's out front. You don't usually run him down. But you know what got to me about that, Robbie, was that run down when he made the pass. Morgan had been on that inside line every lap. That time he went outside, for some reason he left it open, and Tate took advantage.
Blair Morgan takes the second spot. You can see he's a little disappointed, but congratulations goes to Justin Tate, takes the heat race win. This presentation of WSA Snocross in OLN is brought to you by Ford Trucks, built for tough.
Another look at that run down Sniffelfritz, and again, you can see that inside line was clearly smoother, but yet Morgan left it open and Tate took advantage.
From Hill City, Minnesota, known as the Park X National, the third stop of the WSA Snocross Worldwide Championship Tour. Hi everybody, I'm Robbie Floyd along with Greg Kramer, and we're glad you could join us, man. We have a great racing venue here. The first time the WSA Worldwide Tour has made it to Park X, and man, this course very reminiscent of Lake Geneva, our final stop. It's arduous, it's long, and you've got to pay attention.
Oh, it is going to be a tremendous test. Interestingly, there are two downhill sections here that are very tough. One is a section that was never used in the old heydays of Quadna, and it's really handcuffing the drivers because it's difficult to get a rhythm. But actually, Robbie, we're standing in one of the most diabolical pieces of real estate in all of Snocross, and it's that left-hander at the bottom of the legendary Sniffelfritz. You come in here, it's committed, and you're dealing with a handful of other sleds. Ouch.
Cross your T's, dot your I's, and you know it's a great series when we've had two different events, 4 finals, and we haven't had a repeat winner yet.
It's been absolutely amazing. Obviously, the manufacturers have achieved some equality in terms of the machinery, but the drivers have been absolutely awesome. And the interesting thing for me is that of those 4 winners, 3 of them are brand new. Yes, Earl Reimer's one of the old guard, and it's great to see him win. And certainly Ken Ipps has been around a little bit, but Sean Crapo, on his shoulders in many ways, is the future of the sport, and he's producing. This sport has got a great future with those guys.
And remember that great pass at Winnipeg, the last lap, he stuffed it in on Blair Morgan. He made it happen. We've had 4 for 4 different winners. Can we make it 6 for 6? Let's get back to racing.
And Robbie, racing indeed on the cards. The Pro Stock final coming up in just a minute, but let's take a look at the results for the Ford Pro Stock qualifying rounds. And again, those 3 rounds, so key indeed. And coming into this race, it is Earl Reimer qualifying number 1. His teammate Kuster was a sweep for Blair Morgan Racing in qualifying, and just a great run. Tate, Amasalo, Morgan only 5th, and then Johnny Mold back in the 6th spot. So you can take a look and see those results. But the great story here is the continuation of the amazing form of this guy, Earl Reimer.
Earl Reimer won that first stop in Duluth, Minnesota. Surprised a lot of people. No surprise to us, though. We were expecting it. We just didn't know it'd come so early on the new team. Johnny Mold. Remember that name because you will remember that crash. You remember the last stop at Winnipeg? That was ugly. He was doing great. Had Blair Morgan behind him, and then this happened. Take a look at this. It still hurts. Oh.
And what happened there, we're going to take another replay on it. Watch, Morgan commits to doubling, angling into the corner. Mold didn't. And that's really a pretty tough error right there because he put his ski right in the middle of Mold's back. And Mold, thankfully, wearing the right gear. He's fine, he's tough, and he is incredibly fast. This kid deserves a big prize.
It's time for the Pro Stock Final at Park X here in Hill City, Minnesota. This is the 3rd stop of 10 on the WSA Snocross Worldwide Championship Tour. We will crown 2 champions, but first, it's the Pro Stock here today. Let's take a look at the first round winner, Earl Reimer.
got that unbelievable win. He is top qualifier today. The guy is having his best season ever, a career year.
Justin Tate on the Amsoil Polaris. This guy's been fast today. He shows that there are multiple lines and he wants to be in front.
Yeah, he ran down and passed Blair Morgan in that round. And here, speaking of which, is Blair. Just an unbelievable story for him. You know, he came in, made the final in Duluth, amazingly enough, and got a 4th and then a 2nd in Pro Stock in Winnipeg.
Ken Ibsen, you're taking a look at him right there. He won the Duluth Pro Stock race, the first race of the year for the pros, and he started off in a big way. Sean Crable, I don't think anybody is on a bigger roll than him right now after that big win at Winnipeg at the Canadian Open. He looks very tough today as well.
And there's TJ Gula, who has been riding incredibly well as he's been filling in for Levi Lavallee. But guess what? Levi's racing here, and Gula's still on board. I'm interested to hear if there's some news about that.
Yeah, we look for him the rest of the tour. Hopefully he will get that ride. Let's take a look at the rest of our lineup. In case you were wondering, coming into this round, Sean Crapo is your series points leader. Just behind 2 points is Blair Morgan. But watch out for some other competitors. They want to show their stuff today.
And there's the launch. Oh, that's bold.
Johnny Mold and a couple of riders going outside.
Booster.
Carl Booster, 47. See the other one. A couple of riders just getting pushed wide. That's what happens.
Well, if you have that outside. Oh!
And on the inside.
That's Ryan Simons on the left, and Morgan involved as well.
So Blair Morgan, the man who sits second in points, is going to have to start way back in the field.
And the guy who leads in the points already has a nice lead on the field. That's Sean Crapo.
Look at that right there. Tripled up that section. They just reworked that portion of the course. I was curious to see if somebody would go ahead and lean on it and give it the throttle.
Well, and I think Sean delivered a little message there. He's like, I'm willing to do that. Are you? And nobody else was up to it at that time. Look at the air here.
Oh, man, they are making the most of this group course while it is as smooth as possible. Justin Tate now gets by on the inside, gets by Tomoyama Salo, it looks like. And Justin Tate working his way up to the front. And that kind of surprised me. Tomoyama Salo, a guy who's very stocky. He's going to be fast later on in the race. There's no doubt about that. I think he's probably the most physically fit rider out there.
Well, and right there you saw what Amasalo can do. With that strength, he'll just wick it. He may not be graceful, but he'll hang on.
What are you
and
saying?
He will force you and force himself right by you. And I mean, like that, he'll just muscle you.
He'll just outpower you over and say, hey, check out these big guns. I'm coming by.
But look at Ibsen. While these two guys were scrapping, Ibsen was coming up. Now we move up a little bit. That is Gula and Reimer in their battle.
Looks like Ken Ibsen and Tomoyama Salo still not backing down. Now remember, this is, look at that.
Boom!
This is as smooth as the course will get. They just reworked it so they have nice, smooth faces, but don't expect it to be that way for very long.
I think you just said it. It's awesome. This is the smoothest the course is going to be. And look at what they have to do on it right now. Unbelievable. TJ Gula right there just trying to earn a ride full season. And he has got a very, very tough Earl Reimer in tow. And there are 9 laps of racing to go, so this by no means is over.
Sean Crapo out in front. Look at this battle in second. Earl Reimer on the outside. He's in third. TJ Gula, and now Reimer dives to the inside. Can he make it stick?
Oh, TJ fighting back. They are absolutely bar to bar. Now Reimer eases ahead. But look at TJ.
He's not backing down. Well, a lot of snow flying right there.
This is key right here. There's a big double into this corner. Reimer got there first, and that's going to seal it for him. And keep an eye. I think I saw Trevor John start to move up into this fight, too, right behind him.
Trevor John in the number 4 spot. Tomoyama Salo in 5th. Justin Tate in 6th. Ken Ibsen in the number 7 spot. There is Trevor John. Starting to lean on it just a little bit, and look how treacherous Nickel Fritz is. That downhill, they are just banging into the faces.
Unbelievable. Reimer right there, front of Gula. And we're now at 8 laps to go. And Gula getting a little crossed up there, but held on to it.
Trevor John in that number 4 spot. Look at him. He's taking a different line. You don't play follow the leader.
And look at Ibsen coming up to the far left of your screen. Ibsen now has tried to shake that battle he was in earlier. He closed up. This is your scrap.
Whoa! Trevor John hits the eject button just behind TJ Gula. He was closing in, but boy, he is closing in on getting that tether attached right now. And he still has time to move up through the pack. He was in 4th when he got off.
Yeah, boy, I like your use of the hit the eject button, and that's what he did. Watch this. As he comes up, he's a little off angle. The sled just starts to rotate. Right there he goes, see ya! He knew what was coming. The snow was soft, and he didn't auger in feet first either, which is how you hurt your legs. He just planted it, and that was enough. But, boy, I'll tell you what, he was in a great, great position. It's tough to see.
Earl Reimer, TJ Gula, second and third now, and they don't have to worry about Trevor John for a little while. But here's that same section of the course. Earl Reimer, number 100, showing how to get it done. TJ Gula not backing down, though. Gula, you got to be happy with the way he's performing here this week.
Oh, and impressed. Yeah, I mean, he's been very quick, very impressive. He hasn't sometimes had the result, but the performance has been there. And you watch both of them. I mean, obviously, the incident with Trevor happened behind them, but they didn't have any problem with that jump. Trevor just didn't get to it right, and that'll create some problems. Good look there at Ken Ibsen. Now, of course, he's fourth.
Ken Ibsen on that Ola Racing Arctic Cat in the number 4 position. They are all chasing Sean Crapo. Remember the number 3 who got out in front? He is gone. He left everyone. This is TJ Gula in second, trying to close in. And remember, this is a guy who's trying to get that full year ride. The Team Industries rider out there picked up for Levi Laballe, but he's showing that he's pretty darn fast in the top 3 right now.
He's always been pretty fast, and I'm really happy to see this kind of racing from him. Look at now, look at this. This is the 2 teammates, the Formula XPS teammates. Amasalo on your left. Now there's that yellow, so you got to be a little cautious. Something happening down there. But Amasalo just cannon it once they got past the incident. But young Steve Martin, this is his first year as a pro. He's a full-out pro. He doesn't do any semi-pro racing, and he's hanging with one of the greats.
He's also finished in the top 10 in the 3-event finals. He's a full-on pro, but this is a guy who was very good in the semi-pro class the past couple of years, but he's showing how to get it done at the top level now.
Yeah, he stepped it up, there's no question, and he deserves. There's, you know, I mean, obviously, experience is something that eventually gives you even a little bit more pace, but Martin's got the tools.
Formerly XPS rider number 18, right next to his teammate Tomi Amasalo. They are both battling for that number 5 position. Sean Crapo out in front. Look at them side by side there. Look, no teammate love right there. He said, I'm coming to the inside, but you see the yellow flag, and we want to say this again, you cannot make a pass on yellow.
Unfortunately, the sled, the incident, is very close to that yellow, so it's just a really brief period where you have to be careful, then you can get back to doing it. And here's the margin. I mean, right here, watch this. This is Ibsen in 4th. There's Amasalo in 5th, and he's closing on Ibsen. There's Martin in 6th.
Followed by DJ Ekstrom on the Amsoil Polaris. Trevor John has picked it up and working his way through the pack, man. I'm still amazed by that big get off, but TJ Gula, he's in 3rd spot, another top 3 if he can keep it on. Normally it's 2 wheels for me in motorcycle racing, but if he can keep it upright on that sled.
Wow, Tomi really grazing by both the flagman there, Wade Clennard, and somebody's hand up in the back. That is Martin.
I cannot believe that. Was doing so well, was in that number 6 spot, the number 18 Formula XPS machine, and just dead in his tracks right there. And boy, he's got riders coming at him. Watch out.
Right. That looked a little worse than it was. That lens pretty compressed. I think this is still an amazing story. Earl Reimer, 2nd place in the final. What a season he's having. There's Ibsen, won the class at the opening round. But Amasalo, as I said, not only closing, he's caught him, Robbie. He's coming after him.
In that 4th spot, he's trying to get inside the top 3 right now. Crapo, Reimer, Gula, Amasalo, your top 4. There's Tomi Amasalo. And I mentioned at the start of the final, he's going to be tough at the end of the race. This guy who's very stocky, very hardcore.
He is. He's a very, very strong guy. And like I said, his strong suit isn't always finesse. His strong suit is strength. And that really comes into play. Now, this is an interesting development. Look at back here. There is Johnny Mold, and right behind him is Ryan Simons. Remember, they were tied up at the start. Forced wide, crashed, and they are still battling, and Simons sneaks underneath.
Simons makes the pass, moves Mold back one more spot, and again, the bad luck or the bad fortune for Johnny Mold continues. And look at that, crossing up right there. Ryan Simons looking good. The 67 Arctic Cat, can he keep it upright? He's working his way all the way up into the number 9 position, the Ingolstadt Racing Machine. There's Earl Reimer just slamming still into the face of those jumps. We saw how smooth it was early. It's not the case anymore. It is very rough.
Well, I think that probably is what took out Martin. All of the torque load being transferred through the drive clutches, the belts, the chains, to get the engine power down to the track are so wound tight. And then you start casing the front of those things. Something gives every once in a while. And I'd be willing to bet that's what happened. There was a look at DJ Ekstrom in 6th. The guy in front of him is Tommy Amasawa.
Amasawa, number 27 on the Formula XPS Skidoo.
There's a strange face.
Well, where did he come from? The factory Hardy Cat was so far out in front and showing. And you know what? It would be the first repeat winner of the year. Earl Reimer in the number 2 spot. Never give up. You're in 2nd place. Anything can happen.
You know that. There's Trevor back in 7th as we are now on the final lap, everybody. So this is coming on. Here's that situation. There's Reimer and Gula, 2nd and 3rd. But Crapo's learned a valuable lesson. You get 2 week lead, nobody sees you on TV.
Hey, he's able to do a couple of cross-ups over in one of the gnarliest sections of the course. Now makes his way up Snickel Fritz one more time. He will head back down. He will be all smiles because that checker flag will be waving. But
you saw the shot behind him. It was a green sled. There was no yellow in there anywhere. That's how big his lead is.
Sean Crapo, one more turn remains, and he takes another win in Pro Stock. He is your champion here today at Park X. Nice cross-up to finish things off.
And your first repeat winner, as you said, so point situation looking pretty good for Sean.
And he was 2 points ahead of Blair Morgan coming in. He's going to increase that. Earl Reimer, very impressive 2nd spot. He has done nothing this year in Pro Stock. Everything he has performed is open, and look at that battle. Solo on the outside, a fist bump, and did he make the pass?
He got him. Officially, he got him for 4th, and we're not done yet. Morgan taking a run at Trevor John, and Trevor gets the nod by about a ski tip. We're talking a foot.
And again, it was Blair Morgan taking that drastic outside line. But congratulations, Earl Reimer, Sean Crapo, and Sean Crapo, the first repeat winner for the 2004 year. Yeah, he's pumped.
Got that hand off, give it a little pump, get it back on the bars because it gets nasty right about here.
And crossing it up at the finish line. Look at this little freestyle move. You're supposed to look back on those tail whips. You got to look back. You got to style all the way now.
Hey, now, Robbie, give him a little credit. That sled's about 3 times as wide as a bike. I thought he did right fine.
That's exactly right. Let's take a look at our final results. Sean Crapo, Reimer, TJ Gula working through our field. Johnny Mold works his way up into the number 11 spot. Justin Tate rounding out the field at 15. Now down to Jerry.
Sean Crapo, always known for the hole shot. Let me ask you this. What is the message you want to send to the rest of the pros when you come down the downhill and huck the huge downhill triple?
Gotta have big balls.
You're smiling now, buddy.
Yeah, I got the hole shot, and got a good line on the backstretch, big triple, and whipped her on the first lap. Gave me a lot of confidence last weekend, and all the guys have been working real hard to get the sleds working good.
All right, man, good job, and it's not too bad to win by 15 seconds. Good job.
Thank you, Larry.
Thumbs up for Sean Crapo. He takes the win in the Pro Stock class. I guess he said it best. You gotta have guts if you're gonna win here at Park X. Johnny Mold, not a good Pro Stock final for you, but the Pro Open coming up next in Winnipeg, that was nasty.
Yeah, I think the crowd seen more of the crash than I did. I got landed on top of and rolled over and got back on, and Blair kind of took me out there, but maybe I'll return the favor this weekend.
Oh, watch out, Blair Morgan. It's the Pro Open. This crowd's gonna get to see a good one when we come back.
Welcome back to beautiful Park X in Hill City, Minnesota. Robbie Floyd, Greg Creamer, Jerry Bernardo here. The Pro Stock is over with. Now it's time for the Pro Open. A great field in this round 3, heat 3.
Absolutely, and what we're going to do is just show you, look at this shot here. Just the intensity of the drivers off the line. And, Johnny Mold got a terrible start. The reason I'm focusing on that is he threw the gauntlet down to Blair Morgan. Mold's not going to do it this way. He's got to somehow get through some awfully good drivers. And, boy, you need a good start to do it, and that didn't happen.
Carl Kuster is out in front right now. This is another heat race. They get points towards that overall championship. There's TJ Gula, number 44. We saw him do so well just a moment ago in the Pro Stock. But these are the unlimited machines. Or not unlimited, but they open. The big machines, the top performance, the best suspension, everything you want, you have that opportunity right now.
Absolutely. 800 cc's is the displacement limit. Otherwise, that's about it. And that's Kurt Crapo, Sean's brother, for the right of your screen in second on the Woody's Cat, and he is trying to get by Kuster, but Kuster found a very smooth line to the far right of the track, down through what we're calling the valley there between the Head East Hill and Snicklefritz, and he opened up a nice chunk of territory.
Curtis Crapo on that Woody's Arctic Cat, the older of the Crapo brothers, just lost a little bit of rhythm, but now he has found it again, trying to close in on Carl Kuster, the Blair Morgan Racing Skidoo out in front, but it is Curtis Crapo, rider number 9. He's the only guy really trying to keep up the pace. Is that Levi Lavalle, I believe, now trying to move in?
That's Gula sitting in that third spot, but Lavalle right there as well. So it is the ever-present Gula doing the job. Boy, Gula's going to be loving this because the guy he was filling in for, he's outpacing a little bit right now. That was close.
Crossed up right there, you're exactly right. And when you're the interim rider and you're doing better than the #1 star, but remember, Levi's his first race back. We've been anticipating this day. It's finally come. The stock class didn't do too well, but now it's time for the Open.
Yeah, and you know, when you're out because of an injury, you're a little tentative first time back, and then you feel, all right, I'm fine. And Levi is just rusty, I think. I mean, the guy's got consummate skill, but I think he's going to be a little rusty these first couple of races. And that's a good opportunity for Google to make a point. There's launching Levi doing what he loves to do. Oh, and a step up!
Nice knack down the front straightaway. I don't think that was intended. The
No.
freestyle move. Carl Kuster now out in front. You still see him in that position just behind Curtis Crapo. This is where he lost that rhythm earlier. He has found it on the inside this time. No.
The last second, you can see Kuster got a smooth lane, was able to get the power down, and was able to shut the door on Crapo. But believe me, especially with these mod sleds, he now knows Crapo's there.
See that roost too? Now you notice the snow color change. Dirt is starting to get turned up, and another thing, with it warming up, that roost likes to stick to the goggles. Vision is a key factor in racing.
It's a key factor as we now have 2 laps to go. And the other part of it is the weight. And look at Crapo!
Curtis on the inside, he has the perfect line, but there goes Kuster to the inside. Great battle right here, textbook. You go outside, I'm going inside. You do the other, I'm doing the other. Now, Crapo says, all right, I learned a little bit. Do I decide to change it up the next time around? We'll have to wait and see.
Pass, repass. I mean, it's just a study in strategy and reaction, which is what it's about sometime. And what I was going to say also about that roost is when it gets warm like this, it gets wet, which means it gets heavy. Yeah, it sticks, but it also packs. And if you get slammed, it'll hurt when it comes in. So believe me, any smart rider will use that to his advantage and try and bury the guy that's chasing him.
TJ Gula on the Team Industries machine in the #3 spot. Takes the white flag, the number 44 just behind him. His teammate Curtis Crapo pulls off the course. It looks like the machine was running. Is that a bodily problem?
No, that's something let go. The engine's running. I bet you the belt is shredded or the chain snapped. One of the two. And what I was talking about earlier in that stock race with Martin in the open sleds with this power, it's even exaggerated. Oh, look at this. There's the new guy coming over. You see the frustration on the crew's face as well.
Mechanical problem. He was 5th and 3rd, and he is not in good position. He's going to have to do well in his LCQ. Levi Lavalle now into the #3 spot, the Team Industries Polaris machine.
Yeah.
Carl Kuster, he didn't give up. There's no doubt Curtis Crapo had passed him. He did not give up. He made that pass in. And you got to love a guy that does not give up.
And there's Levi coming to the line in 3rd. Nice return for Levi, but Kuster gets the win.
Kuster, Gula, Levi Lavalle in 3rd, but I do believe he's going to have to ride the last chance qualifier. 7, 5, and 3 is not a good points tally.
And let's take a look at this once again. This is a trick bronco riding exhibition on a snowmobile. Lands awkwardly, steps off, steps back on. Levi's back, and so will we be in just a second.
Welcome back to Park X. We're taking a look at Blair Morgan, one of the top riders in the business. And now it's time for Inside Cross with Greg Greenberg. This is always brought to you by RideFX High Performance Shop.
This is Blair Morgan Racing Team's Transporter #1. Now over here is Blair Morgan Racing Team's Transporter #2. They now have Transporter #3. Hi everybody and welcome to Inside Cross. You know, in any major motorsport series, when the pressure's truly on, the best thing you can do for the crew and the drivers is give them a comfortable place to work and prepare. Blair Morgan's team has gone to the next level. First, they have 3 of these bad boys. It's amazing. But their newest one, take a look at that slide out. It is massive, 20 feet long, a full 6 feet out. It nearly doubles the space of the workshop, and the crews absolutely love it. Hey! They let you in. What the heck's the problem here? Hey! Hey! Ah!
Welcome back to Hill City, Minnesota. Park X qualifying heats are over with. Carl Kuster comes out on top.
Yeah, another sweep, just like in Pro Stock for Blair Morgan Racing Team. Out of the 6 rounds, 4 wins between he and Kuster.
Look out, Sean Crapo qualified in the number 5 spot. Well, the heat races are done, but not the last chance qualifier. And it was a good one, and this is how we called it. This is the last chance qualifier. Those who did not make it in the heats, this is their last chance to do it.
And 5 go on. The rest are done.
6th place gets you a great seat in the stands, and Curtis Crapo goes down right off the bat. Steve Martin out in front, Johnny Mold in the 2nd spot.
And Launchin Levi Lavalli is up into 4th in his return.
Launchin Levi is doing just that right there. You just have to come inside the top 5, and he gets by Johnny Mold. But as we expect from Levi, hands off the handlebars, this guy's riding wild. Getting the timing right there on the downhill. He's going to make it again on the outside, going the hard way around. Now he's going for the lead again, halfway through this last chance qualifier. Levi Lavalli, that's why he's launching Levi. Good timing there, but there's where he has the problem.
Yeah, you want to have a good run, but you don't want to do anything stupid that would take you or somebody else out of the transfer spot. There's no points on the line. Now's the time to be smart.
Curtis Crapo's definitely the story, working his way up through the pack.
That would be his victim right there. That's the margin, so it's that close. Crapo is flying.
Bonsai, Curtis Crapo on the inside, just bonsai that inside line. You better watch out if you're Matt Judnick making the pass.
Martin is down, and Levi kissed him in the back of the sled. Dump Martin over, Levi gets out, and he throws a clicker.
Finley qualifies as well as Curtis Crapo. You saw him go down on the first turn and was able to make it into the final. This presentation of Snocross on OLN is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Sean Crapo, the man in the Pro Stock Final. Can he make it 2 for 2 today? So far, his best finish of the year in the Pro Open is 7th.
Yeah, 2 consecutive Pro Stock wins, but boy, this is a whole different ball game, and he hasn't had a lot of success in this class.
As we take a look at our field here, a great field. It's anybody's ball game. I almost want to say, well, you got to have a good starting spot, but I don't think that's the case. We've seen people work their way through the pack.
You can, but if you have a good start, it is so key. Doug Morrissey looking him over. If you get off the line well, that just solves so many issues. And there we go. Oh, Morgan got a good launch.
Blair Morgan on the outside, as he loves to do, just rails it. DJ Extra, and it looks like Trevor John goes down early on. That first turn has taken another victim.
Yeah, it's one of those deals. If you don't get a great start and you try and fight, you're going to get squeezed in one sense or the other, and you're going to come off. It's almost better sometimes if you don't get a great start, check out, square up underneath everybody, then pick your lines on that uphill. Speaking of picking lines going uphill, Morgan has already opened up a pretty decent lead.
Superman Blair Morgan, the man is so affluent on the motocross bike, showing you why he's the best snowcross rider in the world. Holds 2 titles currently and tries repeating this year, but he has his work cut out for him. Coming back from the injury this past summer in a motocross incident, DJ Ekstrom says, hey, I'm not giving you anything. You're going to have to really lean on it if you're going to take the win here at Park X.
Absolutely, but he also has Kuster, Morgan does, as a friendly face behind him. Now, here's something to think about. Remember, Morgan didn't make the final in Duluth in Pro Open. He's well down in the points order. Kuster is at the top of it. Does Morgan maybe at some point, thinking about the championship at the end of the year for the team, move over and let Kuster through and go ahead and take the win and accrue points? Or on the other hand, maybe it's a little early in the year to be doing that. Maybe later in the season, if the situation was similar, that might come into play.
I don't know. I think Blair Morgan might be thinking as a team manager. He sits 15th in points coming into this round. His teammate, the number 1 spot. Do you keep him there, or do you try and pursue your goal of winning another championship?
Well, as we take a look here at the great battle for fourth between Justin Tate and Mike Island, I think probably at this stage in the season, Morgan will go for the win if he at all can, because the parity we've been seeing is a lot of different guys winning. If Morgan can put a streak together, and when he gets healthy, he's certainly capable of that. If he can put a streak together, he can still end up right in the hunt for this championship. If it was this later on, I think he'd easily let this one.
And I know a lot of people think, well, you know, you always talk about Blair Morgan. You seem to talk about a guy that has been dominant in this sport. Yeah, we don't have Tucker Hibbert out there. This is the king of Snocross right now. This guy right here, Levi Lavallee, maybe he's your next king. I don't know, he's young. He's not afraid to give him the throttle, that's for sure.
No, he's willing to pin her, no question of that. And you see some of the great racing right in front of him that he's got to get up to and deal with here. But this guy, and look at that right there, Morgan looking back, Lansing taking a look at what his margin is, who's behind him, what he needs to worry about. And believe me, it's very nice to look back and see a friendly guy right behind you. Oh, Lavallee has come off. I think the rust is showing here a little bit. He's been on the edge and over it, as we've seen a few times.
He's coming back from that broken wrist. In All Sport Dynamics, I know he has a wrist brace on there. A lot of the motocross guys use it. Jeff Brewer had him dialed up, so he has, you know, a little bit of limited mobility out there, but a lot more strength because of it.
But he's still going to have to shake that rust off. If you're going through moguls and canyons like this, you got to really have that rhythm there. And speaking of which, look at Gula. What a run. Island looks over at him, and Gula just powers by. What a great run down from head east, down to the bottom. And Crapo almost came off as he's trying to make a move. And a get by, that's Almasalo. So Crapo trying to fight back and turn this into a salvageable weekend.
The Amsoil Polaris in the number 3 spot, DJ Ekstrom. A great field we have here in Park X, as we always are used to here at WSA Snocross Racing. It's anybody's ball game. It's just who wants to step up to the plate. And right now is TJ Gula, Mike Island battling it out for position, but look at the lead that Blair Morgan has on the rest of the field.
And right there, did you see that? He had that thing absolutely nose high, but he knew exactly what it was going to do. The back kissed the jump. It just rolled down. He was back on the throttle. That is what Blair Morgan does better than anybody in the world. He knows exactly what that sled's going to do and how to get it to do what he wants it to do. Amasalo trying to get by Island.
Mike Island right at number 8 on that Bud Light machine. Tommy Amasalo just on the outside of him. This is a battle for 7th spot. And Amasalo's not able to do it. 27, Amasalo's going to have to hang back for just a moment.
But now, right there, that was an interesting deal because Amasalo realized I'm not getting it done where I wanted. He popped outside, and look at the drive here. It brings him dead even. And Robbie, I continue to wonder sometimes when that inside gets chopped up why these guys don't go out more often. Look what it did.
Tommy Amasalo does make the pass.
So Amasalo sneaks through, and now look at this battle here as they are coming up and taking a serious run. That's Justin Tate.
Amasalo's crossed up and does the face auger. He could not save that one. I'm amazed he even did as well as he did. He's shaking up just a little bit. Curtis Crapo on the Woody's Arctic Cat is able to get by, and he is shaking up just a little bit. Oh, man, how about that get off? It's a little crossed up and had to, again, hit the eject button. Same jump we saw Trevor John crash on.
Yep, and what happened, I mean, you know, when you get crossed up like that, and it just starts to compound with the shocks and absorbent rebound. Watch it here. He's good there. There it goes. See, it starts to rotate. He's going to try and ride it out. Hits, comes back the other way, and off he goes. But I think where he got hurt was actually just before the off. That first rebound, I think he took the bar right in the chest. I think it knocked the wind out of him a little bit.
The suspension of the sled and his body were not in synchronicity. When he clapped the face of that one jump, it made him turn in the air, and it was all nasty. TJ Gula, he is a benefactor, though. He is still trying to work his way up through the pack. He's currently in the 5th spot. Blair Morgan is in the number 1 spot. This is a guy who worked his way up to 8th after going down in the pro stock class. But look at the lead there. Carl Kuster is not even in the picture.
It's incredible. Now here's Johnny Mold, and remember the words he had earlier. At least he made the final, but he had to do it through the LCQ, and he's way back. Morgan has built such a lead here. He's coming up on traffic. This is where he's been suspect a little bit in the past, and this is a good battle for fifth. And Tate, he got back by Island, and then he almost came off, but I think Island said he's out of control. I want nothing, absolutely nothing to do with that until this gets settled out.
Amsoil Polaris, Justin Tate, Mike Island right over 8 just behind him. Oh, look at that cross up again. That is a nasty section.
And closing up on them is Sean Craymo, who's been quiet, and he is going after Island.
Sean Craymo, the factory Arctic Cat, takes that aggressive outside line. He's going to get a good run down Snicklefritz. What's going to happen here? Look at that. Dives to the inside. He's set up on the inside. Can he hold on to it?
Good battle, and Craymo, boy, just a little bit better rhythm on the line he took, and he's there, and he's right behind Tate.
Sean Craymo now works on Justin Tate. Tate on the Polaris, Craymo on the Arctic Cat, and Craymo showing the horsepower on the outside. Just smooth. And you know, when you're in the air, you're not really getting that drive. He was hooking up on that snow. That sled was flying.
It was flying, and in one lap, he gained 2 spots, 7th to 5th. And this is why Sean Craymo's showing you again why the Arctic Cat picked him to replace Tucker Hibbert. Now, I want to say something about Blair Morgan here. As I said, he's got a huge lead as he's coming up on traffic. Now he's got the ability to take a little time, make his passes. And as we're watching this other battle with Gula and Craymo coming after him, I know there's probably plenty of people, including competitors out there, who says Blair gets too much coverage. But think about what the guy's done as we get the 2-lap-to-go sign for these guys. In less than 2 months since he started walking after a broken back and a compound fracture of his leg. Oh! Gula's off! Huge change here. There goes Craymo. There goes Tate.
And he was in the 4th spot. Can he pick it back up? He has a sled running. Now he's got to get by Mike Island, but watch out for Gula. He still has 2 laps left, but this guy shows he has the speed, so Sean Craymo moves his way into the number 4 position now.
So talk about a never-say-die effort by Craymo, bringing it right back up there again.
Back to what you were saying about Morgan. This guy deserves everything.
Absolutely. Look at this. He's leading and might be winning on the last lap a Pro Open final in the greatest snowcross series in the world today, less than 2 months after he started walking from a truly horrific accident. You tell me this guy doesn't deserve all of the accolades that he gets. This is truly a quote-unquote Superman type performance.
And these open sleds, it's no walk in the park. These are very violent machines, a lot of horsepower, almost 200 horsepower. These machines are pushing the envelope. Yeah, they have good suspension, but you've got to use your body a tremendous amount. If you don't think so, just go try one.
Yep, and what he's done here, like I said, he's opened up a big enough of a lead. He can take his time in traffic. He's going to be real careful going by that guy in front of him, Johnny Mold. Johnny doesn't want 2 ski prints in the middle of his back.
Oh, man, that is funny. The race that never was, Johnny Mold will have the next stop in Wisconsin if he's going to battle that with Blair Morgan. But Blair Morgan takes the win. Congratulations goes out to the Blair Morgan Racing Team.
Unbelievable, Robbie. I'm sorry. What he's done this year is unbelievable.
Taking the 2nd spot, his teammate Carl Kusser. Sean Craymo in the 4th spot. He was just behind DJ Ekstrom on the Amsoil Polaris. But Blair Morgan Racing comes out 1 and 2. They have to be happy because not only does team manager win, but they stay in the points lead.
And right there, look at Johnny Mold putting another lap on Amasalo, but good to see Tommy up after that crash. He just got the wind knocked out of him.
Morgan, Kusser, and Ekstrom on the podium. Craymo and Tate ran out the top 5, but look at Levi Lavalle in the 12th spot. Good finish for his first race back.
Not too bad at all, and obviously he had a rough go at times, but as that rust falls off, Levi's going to be showing it up.
Sean Craymo in the Pro Stock points lead, 11 points over Blair Morgan. Can he stay there? That's going to be the question of the year. In the Pro Open, Carl Kusser separates himself from Dennis Ekstrom, 21 points, but Blair Morgan, he's closing in. He has 135, and he's not too far behind with 7 races remaining.
Let's do a little history check. Representatives from Blair Morgan Racing won the 1st round in the mod class at Duluth, won the 2nd round in the mod class at Winnipeg, and now you, the namesake to the big team, 3 trailers, Blair Morgan, just won the mods here. Hey, are you back?
I feel good, you know. I feel good more towards the end of the day. I was sick this week, and I was just drained the whole weekend, so I was getting really tired out there, and Carl was coming hard at the end, and I had nothing for him. You know, if it was a little bit longer, I think he would have got me. That was a hard win. I'm tired.
All right, congratulations. Good to see you back up here, buddy.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry Bernardo. Congratulations, Blair Morgan. And look out at the Menominee Superstars of Snocross in Shawano, Wisconsin. It is going to be a good one next week.
And Morgan will have had 2 weeks, get a little bit of training in. Well, it's going to be fun to watch him the rest of the year.
For Greg Creamer, Jerry Bernardo, I'm Robbie Floyd. We'll see you next week in Shawano. Welcome to the Menominee Casino Superstars of Snocross from Shawano, Wisconsin. I'm Robbie Floyd along with Greg Creamer, Jerry Bernardo, and it's a great day for Snocross.
It is. It's a little chilly for the crowd, but 12 degrees Fahrenheit. The sleds love it. Winds are a little iffy, gusting to 20, and it's overcast. Now let's take a look at our qualifying format. As usual, 3 rounds of qualifying. Each rider races once. You accrue points, top 10 to the final. Next 10 to the last chance qualifier. The rest are done.
We take 5 out of the LCQ. That sets our field, but it is a tremendous field at that. Blair Morgan, the 2003 champion in both the Pro Stock and the Pro Open class. His teammate, Steve Taylor, is out right now due to injury, but he says he's schooling these guys.
Well, he said the team is schooling the guys. Yes, Kuster comes in leading in Pro Open, but you know, a guy named Sean Crapo leads the points in Pro Stock. I don't know how much schooling he's getting.
Well, Sean Crapo has been on a roll as well in the Pro Stock competition. He has won the last 2 events. He is going to be tough to beat here in Shawano, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the points.
As you can see, it is Crapo in the lead, but it's very close. And obviously, there are some other players in the mix as well. Morgan's there. Ibsen is still a major player as well. So you're going to have to be watching for Ibsen.
All right, we're in the middle of Pro Stock qualifying. This is round number 3, heat number 2.
And one of the guys on the line is this gen, Levi Lavallee. Now, we've been talking about, everybody's been waiting for him to come back after missing those 2 races due to injury. He was a little iffy in Quadna at Park X. We'll have to see what he delivers today, but you got to believe there's a little bit of rust happening here.
And let's see what Levi has for us. We take a look at this lineup. Who's going to get the start? It's the number 58 of Matt Judnick on the inside.
Normally, that's the best way to go. Let's check out this intensity. Look at that focus. Everybody up on the bars. All that little engagement of the clutches. They just scoop. There's the green.
Judnick on the inside, really holding
It's
nose.
Gula.
TJ Gula out in front.
Up in 79, that's Josh Zielinski, and he had it off right off the bat. And Robbie, it looked like Gula was going to get that hole shot, but that's Robbie Malinowski into the lead.
Robbie Malinowski, this guy is really showing what he has. A semi-pro rider last year, now showing his wares in the pro stock division, and he's out in front right now, showing how to get it done.
Well, he got a great hole shot. The question is now, as a semi-pro dipping his toe in the pro waters, can he hold off the likes of Gula and 108 Lavallee, the 2 Team Industries teammates on the clearances, running second and third right now.
Robbie Malinowski out in front. Second spot is Gula. Levi Lavallee, number 108 on that Red Bull Polaris in the number 3 position. And another thing I want to point out is you get points from your heat races, unlike other events where you just get points from the final. And now it's Gula to the inside trying to make a pass.
Gula taking a serious look here, and he tried to square up, but Robbie covered it. And you're right, those points for that season championship, so you race hard for any position in these heats. And I'll tell you, Robbie Malinowski, after about the halfway point last year, was one of the hottest riders on the circuit, period, pro or not. And he's showing why right here.
He's going at it with his teammate from last year. They both are on the Ola Racing team in the semi-pro class. Now they're on 2 different teams, but they know each other's riding style.
Yeah, that's true. Gula was his teammate. Gula was one of the pro riders, Robbie the semi-pro last year. So these guys know how each other race, because you know last year they did a lot of testing together. And that's why maybe these passes are coming a little bit tougher, because they each know each other's game plan. There is the current teammate, the pro teammate of Malinowski, Kurt Crapo. Oh, what a move, though!
King Carl looks like he moves to the inside. 47C, Carl Kuster moves in. He's closing in on Levi Lavallee right now. The Team Industries Polaris has a skidoo on his tail. He's charging hard.
Well, look at that. He literally has a skidoo on his tail. That ski was right up on the back of Levi's seat. And Kuster is on an absolute charge right now. And I'll tell you, we have seen a different Kuster this year. Watch this as he's trying to set up move, but he is willing to be a lot more aggressive this year. He'll get into you, lean on you, nudge you, and he'll race you hard.
Carl Kuster from Westlock, Alberta, Canada, in that number 4 spot, knocking on the door of Levi Lavallee.
Oh!
Dives to the inside. Levi had nowhere to go. You want to talk about leaving the door open? He just blew through that thing.
Yeah, Levi left it open. Kuster came through. There was a little touch, but that was more Levi turning in as Kuster went by him. But Levi gets no rest as here comes number 9, Crapo.
The Woody's Arctic Cat, Curtis Crapo, moves by.
Oh, but he overjumped it.
Yeah, push a little too wide. Now here's that battle for the lead again. TJ Gula, number 44, knocking on the door of Robbie Malinowski. 2 former teammates last year, Greg. They know each other's riding style.
They do indeed. I'll tell you one thing that I really like about what Malinowski's doing. You watch his lines in the corners. He's protecting the inside, but he's not squaring so hard that he's killing his momentum. He leaves just a little bit of room so that he can arc out, keep his speed up, but he's putting Gula at risk for one of those dive bomb moves because he's still squeezing him enough that if Gula gets in there, it's going to be Gula's skis to Robbie's track. And obviously, that progress is slowing him up just enough that here comes Carl Kuster.
Carl Kuster closing in hard. This is a man who sits 9th in the pro stock points battle right now, but don't expect him to be there for long. He is charging hard through the pack.
Well, watch it here, and again, that was the same sort of deal. Gula had it pinched a little bit, and Kuster tapped him with his skis, and you're going to lose that battle. Now Kuster's trying different lines. Oh, pretty.
Kuster dives to the inside. 47C gets some roost off the Arctic Cat of Robbie Malinowski, but Robbie Malinowski from Humboldt, Saskatchewan takes the win. Carl Kuster in 2nd, TJ Gula in 3rd. And I'm really impressed with Carl Kuster. What a move through the pack. And how about Kuster's corner?
Well, this is exactly it. Look at that. Ski up on the back of Levi's seat. There's a sign of the aggressive. Now, he figured it out that time, knew what he needed to do, and look at that. As Levi lowered down, lost a little momentum, Kuster goes by, Levi's turning in. That was that rub, not a big deal. But he's got this corner so dialed. Watch this. Turns, squares up. Gula never had a prayer. Carl Kuster is nailing the corners this year. He is just on.
Robbie Malinowski, TJ Gula, they're happy so far. They still have the finals to remain. That's going to be it for the Pro Stock qualifying. This presentation of WSA Snocross and OLN is brought to you by Ford Trucks, built Ford Tough. Welcome back to Shawano, Wisconsin, everybody. I'm Robbie Floyd with Greg Kramer at the Menominee Casino. Superstars of Snocross. A great field here, a great track. It's basically inside a half-mile oval, and it's basically an oval inside an oval.
But it's a very short one, and the problem is the weather. First 3 races this year, we had lots of cold, which meant fresh snow. Man-made or regular snow, didn't matter. Here, it was incredibly warm. They've been scraping snow from everywhere. They built the track smaller than they'd like, but it also creates some other problems. With that artificial snow and then the scraped snow, it got very warm, then it rained, then it froze. And what that's done is it's created a problem in the track, really 2 of them. First of all, watch this. It just no grip. It's sugary, it's grainy, and it just steps down, and you can't get any grip in it. The other problem is right here. These little ice chunks form, and when you're following somebody and those big lugs in that track in front of you, especially an open sled, throws it up and it hits you, it is very, very painful indeed.
Now the Pro Stock competition, the story's been Sean Crapo. We've had 4 main events. He's won the last 2. Everybody's gunning for him.
Everybody's gunning for him. Now keep in mind the pressure on this guy coming in. He was drafted in as a Legends replacement for Tucker Hibbert, but his response, winning the last 2 and saying, I'm not Tuck's replacement, my name is Sean Crapo. The problem he's going to have, I think, Robbie, is Blair Morgan is not that far behind him in the stock point standings, and Blair's getting healthier, and let's be honest, he's the bar. We got more than half a season to go. This championship is going to be fascinating.
Hey, when you win 2 finals in a row and you're the series points leader, you get some of the perks, like a custom-painted helmet from Castle HJC, and look at the security it requires.
Eagle has left the building.
Copy that, Green Squirrel.
I heard you had one custom painted. There's a weird buzz in the pit. Somebody's bringing it. What's going on?
Yeah, you know, I only have the big guys bring my stuff.
Top secret.
We're almost ready for our Pro Stock final. Let's take a look at our results from qualifying. Blair Morgan, Carl Kuster, 2 teammates on top.
Yeah, they swept it. I mean, they own those top 2 spots. But an interesting development. I mean, you had Ibsen and Ekstrom were tied for 2nd. But Robbie Malinowski, he is the guy that had a really strong qualifying effort. You take a look at it, he had a 4th, a 3rd, and then in that last heat, a big win.
It's hard to top that heat race win. The only thing better would be if he were on TV, so we thought we'd give him a shot at it.
All right, here's Robbie Malinowski taking over Jerry Van Arnold because we don't like you. You hear that, Jerry? We're kicking you out. We got Ryan Simons. He got a third in Winnipeg on the 440. Me and him are going to battle. He's going down.
What do we need to get a little milk on this so the cat can lick that off?
Yeah, it's 21 years of growth right there.
How you feeling? You loving it?
I'm loving it so far this year. It's been going really good.
Describe your riding style.
Ride aggressive all the time, going big.
Now, one thing I think was really fun was your crash in Hill City.
I knew it was coming before I even hit the face of the jump. Got a little crossed up, and swapped a few times, and cartwheeled big time.
There's no way Robbie Malinowski is going to beat you for Rookie of the Year. Robbie, what do you think? Rookie of the Year, you or him?
I got him. I got him.
Why? Because he got nothing.
Malinowski going huge.
Robbie Malinowski, Ryan Simons, running good on the green sled. So keep your eyes peeled. Because these guys, you know, they're going to fight it out for Rookie of the Year.
Welcome back to Shawano, everybody. The field is set for the Pro Stock Final. 15 riders, 16 laps. Greg Creamer, I want your prediction before we get this thing going.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you got those two Blair Morgan teammates that are up front in terms of qualifying, you got to give the nod to one of them.
Carl Kuster, 47C. Blair Morgan, 7C. It looks like they are on the inside. We'll see how they come out of it.
Well, I'm a little surprised they left a little room and Kent Ibsen snuck in there. And if he gets a good start, that's going to be huge.
For 40 Arctic Cat on that far inside. The starter says they're ready. Here we go. Ibsen with a good start, but it looks like it's Skidoo out in front.
That's Morgan with Ekstrom on the Polaris alongside.
DJ Ekstrom, who's battled it out today so far, looks very impressive. He's in the number 2 position. In third, looks like Ibsen in that number 3 spot.
Tell you what, Kuster got real. Oh, look at this. Ekstrom trying the outside of Morgan, Robbie.
I like it going the wide line. Now dives the inside. Nowhere to go right there. Blair Morgan, 7C. DJ Ekstrom, Emsel, Polaris is giving it everything he can handle right now. Look at that.
There wasn't a lot of room, and yet DJ found a little gap. And now Morgan, now that was a mistake. He got in there way too hot, and it pushed wide.
And loses position. DJ in front now. That Amsoil Polaris is on the throttle. Blair trying to throw that sled around. Now let's see how patient Blair is, or does he say, I got to get it back right now?
Well, I think Blair certainly realizes there's lots of race left. He usually sets stuff up, and when he can exercise it, he is absolutely decisive. There's a good look at Kuster, who had a terrible start. And also Sean Crapo, where did he come off the line? Buried is the answer. He is way, way back right now.
That first lap, Carl Kuster in the number 6 spot. Sean Crapo in 13th position, just behind Levi LaValle. But look at Blair Morgan. He's in second right now. And this guy is going for that championship points battle. We talked about it. Crapo's out in front. But as it stands right now, Blair could come out of here on top.
Well, Blair's definitely going to make up some ground here if this continues. Little battle between the teammates right here. That's 781. Malinowski trying to get by his pro teammate, 85 Trevor John. Back in the order just a little bit. Some great racing up front. One of the things about Morgan that I was going to say is he knows there's lots of racing left. He's very patient setting up the pass. Then when the opportunity's there, he will go after it. Behind him, 28 Justin Tate is Ekstrom's teammate, and I believe that's Ibsen who made use of that good start. Ibsen going inside.
Kent Ibsen, rider number 40, does take that inside line. Not able to make the pass though, but you have to mention that start. He was given that inside position. He took full advantage of it. And speaking of taking advantage, there goes Blair Morgan to the inside. DJ dives again. But look at this battle.
Absolutely awesome. DJ trying to do the little block pass, and the two teammates bottle each other up for just a minute. And I think Malinowski was able to sneak underneath Trevor John. Uh-oh, we've got a yellow flag. That is number 10, Christensen.
And
one of the riders involved there.
Right, and TJ Gulov leave the other rider down. We want to point out no passing under yellow flag. We've learned that early on in this series. And there goes Sean Crapo. Looked like he was getting by Earl Ryber, and then Levi just gets by them both.
LaValle just squeezed by both of them while their attention was elsewhere. And look at Tate. This is arguably the best run we've seen this season from the Ansel Shearing Polaris team. They got 2 guys in the top 3, yes, behind Morgan, but looking very, very strong right now.
So out in front, number 7C, Blair Morgan, your leader for Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. In the second spot is a teammate, DJ Ekstrom. He's teammates with the 28 of Justin Tate. And like you mentioned, Greg, their best finish as a team so far this year. And they're on their way up, especially Tate. He's into third now.
Yeah, Tate's closing in, there's no question. He's found some very nice lines, and he's doing the wide in, tight out. And it's giving right here. Look at that line he's found. He's able to get over a couple of things, take a run at his teammate.
Number 28, Justin Tate, he was 8th on that first lap. He sits in third right now. On his way up, can he get by DJ Ekstrom? When it's your teammate, you don't want to get super aggressive.
Oh, and look who's coming into the back of the frame. That yellow sled of Kuster has caught that's Ibsen. And Tate ducks underneath Ekstrom. Did he hold it? He did.
Tate down, here comes Kuster. Kuster diving to the inside. Bonsai move, gets by Ibsen. Now he's working on Ekstrom.
He gave Ibsen a little rub, and if he got by Ekstrom, what a pass. Nope, he didn't quite get her. Yes, he did. Now he's going after Tate. Oh, look at that move.
Kuster gets by Justin Tate, so the Forest Lake, Minnesota native drops back to the number 3 position, and Kuster trying to close in on his teammate, Blair Morgan.
I'll tell you what, we were talking earlier about Blair Morgan Racing doing some schooling. Kuster is schooling everybody in the turns right now. Unbelievable.
Ken Ibsen gets by DJ Ekstrom. Boy, look at this. Everybody swapping positions. We're on lap number 11 of 16 right now. So 2/3 of the race done. And man, it is definitely not one of those follow the leader kind of races.
Absolutely not. Ibsen right now in the middle of an Amsoil Polaris sandwich with Kuster and Morgan up front. That is just going to be phenomenal. Here comes Ibsen out thinking about trying to get by Tate. But Tate, that outside line he's using into that turn round, he's getting a lot of speed into the corner. And if you're going to try that down underneath the square up move, it doesn't work. And that's, I'll tell you, Tate right now comfortable, but there, see what I mean? That time, though, you went in a little too wide.
Little slower into the turn, but Ibsen trying to make it happen.
And
now
look at Kuster.
Kuster trying to get by on the inside, and he does so.
Morgan trying to cut underneath, but Kuster a little bit too much speed. Kuster's your leader.
So Carl Kuster, your leader, and we heard at our last stop at Park X, Blair Morgan said, if Kuster's faster, I'm going to let him go. He's not letting him go. I'm here to tell you right now.
Now they're racing, and there goes Morgan. Now we'll see what kind of speed Kuster has. Not enough, but he cut down underneath.
Morgan pushes wide. Kuster dives the inside. This is a drag race. Two Skidoo teammates going at it side by side with only a couple of laps remaining. 47C is Carl Kuster, his team manager and teammate. Blair Morgan, 7C, the Pro Stock and Pro Open rating champion, is behind him. But will it stay that way?
Oh, there you go.
What about that, Greg? That was a block pass that held him up.
Yeah, but not for long. Look at that. Kuster able to sneak by, but Morgan cut down underneath. These guys are putting on a corner mano-a-mano passing duel that I have never seen anything like this. These two guys, unbelievable.
It's like playing tag. When you have the confidence that the guy next to you won't take you out, you can block him, stop him, do whatever you want to, and these two teammates are going at it.
Well, that's very true. You know that those two teammates are going to take each other out. And Ibsen now has gone by Ekstrom. So Ekstrom has fallen back just a little bit, and Ibsen on the move. And this battle's rejoined. Morgan inside. Here comes Carl. Cut down move. Drag race? No. And right there, Morgan knows Kuster's not going to let that go just a little bit more in center punch.
One more lap to go. We're on our 16th lap. Blair Morgan, 7C out in front. His teammate is giving him everything he can handle right now on the Skidoo. Kidson on the Arctic Cat in third. Justin Tate, who was in fourth spot, is back in fifth behind his teammate DJ Ekstrom. And this is a tremendous last lap of the Pro Stock division.
There's your leader, Morgan, and he's actually giving himself a little bit of room.
And takes the win. Fist pumping Blair Morgan, 7C. Kuster second, Ibsen third, Ekstrom, Tate. Where is Sean Crapo, your series points leader?
That's back in the battle for 9th and 10. This is how hard these guys are going after it. Crapo just holding off Ryan Simons.
Oh, Crapo, Simons, Lavale. But you know what? Blair Morgan is going to be really close. He could come out of here as the series points leader, and he was 11 points behind coming into the day.
Very true. I mean, I'll tell you what, he looks a little spent. He had to work hard to pull off this win.
Morgan, Kuster, Ibsen, your podium look at Robbie Malinowski moves into that number 5 spot on the last lap. What a great race we had here.
We got some great replays to show you. First of all, look at Morgan airing it out right here. Just cans this jump. You see, he gets over some of those rough spots, gives him the inside line into the turn. Now, DJ is going to try and cut down underneath, but Morgan's too far long. Now, check out this one right here as Morgan does a classic block pass, not really intentional. He just squares the corner. He knows Kuster's going to try and cut underneath. Morgan stops. Boom. Watch Kuster's leg. He got him a little bit upset right there. I mean, his balance. But I'll tell you what, that's why Morgan is Morgan. And here's the big win and that fist pump. This is a happy guy. But I think it's a tired guy, too.
Takes his first win of the year in the Pro Stock Division. Now down to Jerry Bernardo.
People of planet Earth, it is safe to assume that this guy right now, 7C, is back on form. Early race issues with DJ, back and forth. Then you switched up, got rid of him, and moved over to Kyle Kuster, chased you down, and you guys were just back and forth. It was a great display. How did it feel mixing it up with your teammate?
It was fun. You know, I knew we weren't cutting anyone any slack out there. You know, he was banging me, I was banging him back, and yeah, it was close racing. You know, I know we weren't going to do anything really dumb because, you know, we're both good riders, and we weren't going to jump on each other or anything like that or hurt each other. So I was comfortable racing like that with him.
Yeah, and it's fun for us to watch here in Snocross land.
Yeah, I bet it was a lot more exciting than if someone hole shots and takes off. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. You know, I'm feeling really good. The sled actually coming around really nice now. We had some troubles with it earlier, and now it's starting to work really good, obviously, getting 1 and 2. And yeah, it feels good to witness for Skidoo, and hopefully I can gain some more points and get back in the lead.
Give us the Arnold Schwarzenegger line. Say I'm back.
I'll be back. I am back.
Thanks, man. Good job.
I don't recall Arnold having bright red hair.
He may not be the Terminator, but he is Superman Blair Morgan. He came into Shawano 11 points down. He's going to come out 6 points on top due to the 9th place finish of Sean Crapo. More from Superman Blair Morgan when we come back to Shawano. Welcome back to the Menominee Casino Superstars of Snocross, and as you can see, a little bit of track preparation, a couple of new jumps out there, Greg Kramer.
Well, with the open mod sleds coming out, they groomed up a couple of them here so we can get a little bit of airtime. This should be fun.
There's nothing wrong with airtime, is there?
And that's what it's all about.
It's the Bud Light Pro Open qualifying, and we're about to get started. Let's take a look at Levi Lavale. He's been injured. We pumped him up because he's a guy who has a lot of flavor in his riding style.
He has flavor. He was 4th in Pro Open last year in this very race. But in one of the qualifying rounds, he didn't make real good friends with Trevor John. Watch what happens here. That's Levi in the red Polaris. And he got into the back of Trevor right as Trevor's sled was getting light. Knocked Trevor right out of that qualifying heat. Trevor rebounded nicely because he ended up taking 3rd in that same final when he outraced Levi. So Trevor's maybe got a leg up here a little bit.
And we're taking a look at Trevor John right now as we take a look at our lineup. Trevor John, Levi Lavale in the same heat race again.
Yep, this is going to be an interesting one. Qualifying heat. And that's Steve Martin, brand new rookie this year. Of course, a standout semi-pro last couple of years. He's got the inside line. Oh, did he get a launch?
Round 3, heat 2, the Pro Open. These are the modified sleds. It looks like Arctic Cat out in front, but Steve Martin back in that number 2 spot.
Yeah, he put together a great start, but it's Kurt Crapo on that Woody's Cat out front. And look at Lavale buried in the back. He's 2nd to the last right now, but Kurt Crapo airing it out right now. He got a great hole shot.
Kurt Crapo from St. Anthony, Idaho, on that Woody's Arctic Cat. Steve Martin in the number 2 spot, number 18 out of Wyoming on the Formula XPS machine. And you got to like that rookie fresh and the established veteran.
Without a doubt. And here now is Trevor John, but look who's right behind him, Carl Kuster. Carl once again finds himself needing to fight up to the back of the pack. But Carl has proved this season to be incredibly adept at doing just that.
He proved today in that Pro Open class. I mean, he's coming off of a very respectable finish, and now Kuster just dives to the inside, nowhere to go.
Classic block pass right there. He just parked him and then accelerated away, so Kuster now up in the third.
Kuster in the number 3 spot, trying to work his way into second. He's got to get by Steve Martin. There's Levi Lavalle. Uh-oh, little drama starting to take place. There's Trevor John just in front of him.
Yeah, well, Levi right there did the wise thing. He braked, thought about that inside move, saw that door was closing. Now he streams up the inside.
And again, going for the block pass, and Trevor John knew what to do that time. Just dove back to the inside and holds on to position. Trevor John is doing a good job in 4th spot, holding off Levi Lavalle.
Sometimes it's how you react. Oh, Levi trying to not shortcut the course. He was just trying to jump to a certain point in the corner. Oh! And he just hammered in the next turn. He got into Trevor, and Levi lost. That's classic. Got the skis into the side, and the guy behind's going to lose it. Watch what happens here. Here he goes over the bales. He was just trying to jump into the corner and got a little bit too close. Maybe that upset his rhythm. He gasses it. Gets too much speed right here. Trevor turns, and there, oh, he put a ski right in Trevor's arm.
Oh, man, that had to have at least bruised at the least point. Watch the ski go right on the side. I think even maybe on that left quad, too. Almost pulls Trevor off of his sled.
And did you see the torque on Levi's body as it absolutely ripped him off that sled? So Levi getting the worst of it, and that was really his own fault there.
8-lap heat race in this Pro Open qualifier. Carl Kuster trying to work his way up and get by Steve Martin, but Curtis Crapo out in front, kind of checking out in this one.
Yeah, you can see the margin there. Kurt has a decent little lead, but Kuster now is coming after Martin. And one thing we've seen from Carl is he's able to get that sled in all kinds of different attitudes in the corners. He gets it up and railing through the corner, or he'll go up high and square down. He can just do or jump right at an angle through the turn. Whatever the corner gives him, Kuster seems to be able to master right now. And I'll tell you what, Martin's got to be a little bit worried.
You got to be impressed by the rookie, though, holding off King Carl. Looking good in 2nd spot. There goes Carl to the inside. King Carl, is he able to hold on to that pass? Yes, sir, he is. In that number 2 spot. Kurt Crapo, that Woody's Arctic Cat in the lead, but here comes King Carl. I thought he had a pretty good lead, but Carl just narrowed it in that last lap.
Yeah, I think that Carl's pass and the pressure he was putting on Martin drew him in a little bit to Crapo. And Carl, once again, once he sees the line, he executes it so well. He's coming up alongside Kurt right here.
Very reminiscent of Jeremy McGrath in Supercross. You keep it low, you hook up on the ground, and you get a good drive coming out. Seed bouncing, that little double right there, very important. Able to make a little bit of that downside, and Carl Kuster on the last lap makes another last-ditch effort and takes the win.
And I tell you, much of his success coming in the corners. He has been brilliant there. A little bit of a problem for Levi Lavalle after his contretemps with Trevor John. He's only going to be in 7th right here. But for Carl Kuster, what a story. In the 3 rounds, a third, and a first.
And we'll have more Pro Open qualifying when we return. Welcome back to Shawano for more WSA Snocross heat race number 3, round 3 of the Pro Open division. Take a look at our lineup. Notable mention, Brad Pidlick on the back row.
Yeah, he hurt his knee really bad in one of the earlier heats, and he's just going to take the green, then a checker, stay out of everybody's way and get points. Meanwhile, we launch. Oh, Tate, look at that. Tate got roughed up and came not of his own accord into the bales and sent a couple of the course workers bailing.
Pardon the pun there. Blair Morgan out in front, the number 25, and then DJ Ekstrom in the number 2 spot. Looks like Shabisky in 3rd on the Polaris.
Yep, that's the order right there. And Morgan once again getting a great start. Shabisky taking a little bit of a run at Ekstrom. Didn't get her done there.
Shabisky out of Duluth, Minnesota, that judging motorsports players trying to work his way up. Blair Morgan trying to check out on the other end.
And you see Josh Zielinski once again, number 79. We don't see a lot of Josh. He doesn't race with us real often out of Bath, Michigan. Great to see him with us.
Taking a look at Justin Tate, number 28, not having the best of his heat racing action right now, way back in the pack. Again, you get points for every heat race. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you're going to win a championship, you can't just do good in finals. You have to do well in qualifying.
Not at all. Justin Tate just screamed by a fair number of slats, so he's moving up nicely, but you're right. You get 10 for a win, 9 for second, third is 8, and so on. You can score more points by doing well in qualifying than you'll do by winning the finals, so they're huge. Of course, it also pays nicely to do well in that final. Morgan out front, and Ekstrom drawn away a little bit from Shubitsky right now.
Shubitsky in that number 3 position behind Ekstrom. There you see Tate in 4th. I want to mention that Justin Tate currently sits 5th in points behind, just a couple behind Mike Island for the overall championship. Blair Morgan, he's out in front of this heat race, but this has not been his best year. He's way back there. Take a look at that. Blair Morgan in 7th spot. Who would have thought?
Yeah, but amazingly enough, considering he didn't even make the final in Duluth, he, oh, look at that. Did you, just in the top of the frame, Ekstrom squared up and got by Morgan. What a nice move by Dennis Ekstrom.
DJ takes the lead right now. This is a guy who I've heard on occasion, not necessarily the aggressor. He does not mind finishing in 2nd place because that wins championships. That was an aggressive move.
That was a very good move. He's very patient and he's very disciplined. And I've seen him wait 2-3 laps, set up a pass, and then execute it beautifully. But he will not do something stupid and cause himself to crash out and cost him points. Sometimes people say, well, he's not aggressive. Others say he's just cautious and smart. Either way, he's always right in the top 3 in points at the end of the year.
What about his thought process? He's 2nd right now, only 21 points behind Carl Kuster. Is this the year for DJ Ekstrom?
Well, it could be. He's close. The problem is you've got a very much rejuvenated Carl Kuster who's looking awfully tough as well. And Morgan's just going to get healthier and healthier. And let's not forget, even though we're watching DJ having a great run here, you mentioned Morgan, a bad year. He's back in 7th. He came in injured. He didn't even make the final in Duluth. For him to be even in the top 10 in per open points right now is pretty remarkable.
He's definitely coming into his own, but so is DJ Ekstrom. Do not count him out. Maybe DJ Ekstrom now is schooling Morgan, you think?
Well, I think, as I said, I think DJ is a very smart racer, and right now he has found some absolutely superb lines. And Morgan, just see him right there? He was trying to kick snow off of the running board, so he may not be completely comfortable on that sled either. I'm not apologizing for it. DJ is driving some absolutely great lines with a lot of pace right now.
I think that was a great way to sidestep. Oh, no, I think he's a very good rider. But I gotta tell you, he's not giving up right now. Blair Morgan wants to win. He just does not have enough time because DJ Ekstrom, he does take the win on that Amsoil Polaris. Blair Morgan did want it. He was not giving him that win by any means.
Morgan was right up along his side there, so it was just that close.
Let's take a look at the qualifying results. Your top qualifier is going to be DJ Ekstrom, followed by Morgan, Gula Kuster, and Shubitsky.
Yep, those 2 wins were enough, and he is top qualifier.
You better not go anywhere. The Pro Open final, and we return. Welcome back to Shawano, Wisconsin, the 4th stop of the WSA Snocross Worldwide Championship Tour. I'm Robbie Floyd, Greg Creamer, Jerry Bernardo, and you want to make sure and check out Shakopee, the next stop on the WSA Tour. It's always a good one, Greg. What's that word you say, that phrase?
Grand crumblage is usually what we see at Shakopee.
In Southern, that's grand crumblage. A lot of carnage goes down at Shakopee. Well, let's see what Greg Creamer has for this week's installment of Inside Cross, brought to you by RideFX High Performance Shocks.
We got some great racing going on behind us here. Pretty intense stuff. You know, the old adage can be true about you can tell if a person or an organization is successful by the company they keep. In long-distance car racing, for instance, they employ physios to help the drivers recover faster from the massive G-loads they experience. But snowcross exacts a very different toll on the body. And that is why the WSA, because of the huge prestige and pressures in the circuit, now has Dr. Jeff Roderick following the circuit to look after the drivers.
These guys, they're going week to week, and they're racing really hard. They have sometimes 6, 8, or 9 races in one day, and it's tough on a body. So WSA has brought me in to take care of a lot of the sprains and the strains and little owies that these guys develop every weekend. Okay, here you go, kiddo. Do well. Thank you. I'm gonna need it. Very good.
Very good program Jeff has put together. The WSA really stepping it up. Now, corporate America, he needs your help, and these riders need your help as well.
It's a great program indeed. guy that maybe could use a little bit of help is Levi Lavallee. His woes continued. What happened here was the Pro Open LCQ race, and of course that's a strictly transfer scenario. The race unfolds. Levi works his way up into a top 5 spot, having a great battle with Matt Judnick, Johnny Mold behind them, but here is what happened. Levi again sort of throwing it away. As a result, he did not make the final, and Johnny Mold slipped in and took that last qualifying spot.
We'll be back right after this. This presentation of WSA Snocross on OLN is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horn. All right, Shawano, Wisconsin. It's time for our Pro Open final, Greg. You've seen some of the big hitters right there. DJ Ekstrom, one of our top qualifiers, our top qualifier for the day.
He had an absolutely great run through qualifying, and had, some great duels with this guy. And DJ came out on top often enough that he got the nod. And that's huge, because that's going to give him first lane choice. And there is nothing more important than where you start when this start unfolds.
Blair Morgan coming off of a win in Pro Stock. Can he be the first dual winner of the WSA Snocross Tour for 2004? We're about to find out.
Look at that. DJ did not take the full inside line. He left it open. This is going to be very interesting to watch.
Much like Gibson in Pro Stock. DJ shuts the door on Blair Morgan. That's how you do it right there.
Yep, he got the skis ahead and he just eased over and just sort of pinched Morgan, and Morgan had to get out of it. Ekstrom leads it, Morgan into second.
DJ Ekstrom in front, Morgan. It looks like Curtis Crapo in the number 3 spot, Gula in 4th. But Ekstrom, I like his selection right there. He took second. But you know, Morgan come out pretty good in second spot, even though he got shut down.
He did well, but did you see the air DJ took on that huge back straight jump? That gave him an easy 5-length advantage over what he'd already built up. I think Ekstrom served a little notice right there saying, I'm going for it.
And we want to point out they reworked the course for multiple lines. And look at this battle between Kuster and Gula right now. But Ekstrom is definitely airing it out. You've got smooth track with nobody in front of you. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, he opened up a big margin and just absolutely hammered it. And of course, he does not have a lot of roost in his face. Look at this pass and repass by Kuster and Gula. Great action.
I like Gula's move right there. He is being so aggressive. Kuster, our points leader right now, and he is a considerable lead in the points in the Pro Open division, and it's from top finishes. He's averaged, 60 points every final this season.
Yeah, he's had himself a great run, and again, Gula, we've seen him at the front every time out, and again, Kuster right there trying to rail it and trying to sneak up and just maybe give Gula that little nudge, Gula having none of it.
Still, DJ Ekstrom is out in front, trying to separate himself from Blair Morgan. I don't know how well he's going to be able to do that. Look at that. There goes Kuster again. Still not giving up. Has the inside line come up a little short right there, but makes it stick.
That should be for 4th if he holds on to it. Here comes TJ. Can't get the answer done. So that's right now. Kuster up into 4th. Right front. You just got to look at 3rd. And that is number 9, Kurt Crapo. But look at Gula coming back after him.
Gula not backing down. He's set up on the inside. Very nice right there. Trying to take out that front end of Kuster. But comes up short. Just blows up that jump.
One of the nice things here is you watch what Gula did in that previous corner. He got inside, he forced Kuster out, but he didn't push him out. He made Kuster go around. These guys are racing hard. We're not even giving each other room, and that's what makes for great racing.
A very gratuitous racing line. Kurt Crapo now is under the pressure of Carl Kuster, but the 25 Amsoil Polaris of DJ Ekstrom out in front of the 7th seat of Blair Morgan. Morgan has been on a roll. He won the Pro Stock. Now he's trying to win Pro Open.
And he's got himself some work. Speaking of work, look at Kuster starting to work over Kurt Crapo. And here goes Kuster, straight lining right to the apex. But right there, Crapo, that outside line gave him a little bit better exit speed, and he's able to drive right back on by. Great study in contrasting lines here.
Tripling up there. Did you see that? Made it a triple. Kuster tripled on the inside. It gets by Kurt Crapo. That was aggressive. He turned that double into a triple.
That's exactly what you have to do, Kuster. That gave him 3rd. And basically, DJ did that in the opening lap. Kuster saw it there, used it to cement that pass, and it was a great one. But look at this. Morgan is closing up on Ekstrom.
Lap number 7 of 16. There's Blair Morgan trying to stick a nose in. Ekstrom will have none of it. We're halfway through, and here goes Blair.
Working the inside. Morgan going to try and get down there. Again, Ekstrom, that outside line, but Morgan took it away. Just that easy.
Let's see if Ekstrom has anything for him here. He's riding very aggressive. I like his style, the DJ that is. We know Blair's going to be that way. And he did not triple right there. And that's going to cost these guys. And we'll see. Hey, can Kuster catch up? He's been on the roll so far, too.
Well, what happened there for Ekstrom on that pass is that outside line is good, but you got to get the speed to mid-corner so you got your sled ahead of the guy chasing you coming out. Ekstrom didn't get into that corner quick enough, and Morgan straight line right to that apex. Paid off big points. The other guy we've been watching and worrying about all day long because of his point scenario is Crapo. Once again, terrible start in the finals round.
Sean Crapo trying to work his way by Justin Tate. Looks like he's in that number 8 spot. Crapo trying to pick up positions.
Take it back a little bit. Here comes Crapo as we watch. There's the margin. You saw where Kurt Crapo was sitting now in that 4th spot, but you can see how far back his brother Sean is.
Sean in 7th now. It's Tate in the number 8 spot. Carl Shabinsky next in line for Sean Crapo. Now Sean sits in 9th in points at Pro Open. He's doing a lot better in Pro Stock. He wants to perform in the Pro Open too. I mean, don't think he's just giving up in this class.
Without a doubt. And the thing is, right now, what we're going to see is from Sean, now that he's buried back in the pack in a final, how much does he fight for it? How hard does he go after it? I mean, that's really one of the true signs of a champion. And look at that. He didn't waste any time at all going after Shabinsky. So Crapo might be back in the pack a little bit, but he's feeling it. He's got the anger.
Crapo moves into the number 6 spot. Lappers are starting to become a problem for Blair Morgan. Now I'm very impressed by Crapo working his way into that number 6 spot. But you also have to be impressed with Blair Morgan, a guy who was injured the first year. And all these guys are injured, ladies and gentlemen. But the severity of his injuries were amazing. This guy, what, with a blown out knee, was it last year? Is that what he had?
No, broken leg, actually. He had a busted leg and came back for it later in the season. And you can see, oh man, Ekstrom just got, as they say, hosed. I mean, he was absolutely deluged. And remember in those chunks I was holding up earlier? A bunch of them were in there. That hurt.
They might not be rocks, but ice, you can't tell the difference between an ice chunk and a rock chunk, I'll tell you right now. There's the number 9 of Curtis Crapo. Kurt sits back in the number 4 position behind Carl Kuster. So let's reset the field. Blair Morgan out in front, DJ Ekstrom in 2nd, Kuster in 3rd, Kurt Crapo in 4th, and TJ Gula, a very respectable 5th. Gula's the guy who picked up that ride. Now he's keeping up with the factory stars.
Oh no, he's doing a superb job. And what's fascinating here is watching traffic and watch how they work. Traffic can hurt you, but it can also help you. And Morgan this time, when he's hit traffic, has been able to slide through beautifully, and that's actually helped him out. Did you see all that junk falling off of Morgan's lap? He too is catching a lot of roost in traffic. But oh, look at Tate moving up.
Tate, Shabinsky going at it side by side and stepping up right there too, grabbing a handful of throttle. This course gets tore up. I mean, it's not the smooth course we saw about 9-10 laps ago. It is gnarly out there.
Well, and I mean, we're late in the going. I mean, we're basically coming up on our final lap here, and so this track is just rooted.
Seat bounce for Blair Morgan and a double win for the day. Little no-footer to end it on the Cold Wave Skidoo. Blair Morgan is our first repeat winner of the weekend.
Yeah, he swept it. There's Kuster for 3rd behind Ekstrom. Just an incredible. I mean, what Morgan has accomplished as we watch this battle here, that is Shabinsky, I think Mike Island coming up deep in the pack. There's Ekstrom for 2nd. But what Morgan has accomplished in only the 4th race in the 10-round championship, after those injuries you alluded to sweep a weekend, that's monstrous.
And his 2nd consecutive Pro Open win. So Blair Morgan riding the double out there going to get that trophy. Congratulations goes to him. And he also made up some more points on Carl Kuster for that overall championship, as well as DJ Ekstrom.
I was going to say, he's leapfrogging back up in the points in Pro Open after missing that final in Duluth.
That's the only fumble he had all day, right there.
Yeah, it's dropping the checkered flag. That's not so bad when you do that. And I tell you what, these final results, Morgan,
It's all Morgan for the day. DJ Ekstrom, a respectable second. Kuster, Crapo, and TJ Gula in fifth. What a great day of racing here in Shawano. And now down to our very happy, smiling Blair Morgan with our Jerry Bernardo.
Race winner Blair Morgan in the mod class. The pleasure of being out front is short-lived when you have to work your way around a small track like this through lappers. What are you thinking they're thinking? Do they know you're coming? Are you concerned about them?
Oh, totally. You don't know what they're doing, you know. They're in a battle themselves, you know, in the pack, so sometimes they don't know you're there, and, you know, I kind of yell at them sometimes, and they look and see it's me, and, but yeah, you got to almost pass them just as aggressive if you're passing someone for the lead.
Yeah, you said DJ Ekstrom, who got second, had some good lines. What did you see?
Yeah, he had some wicked lines. He's tripling this back section thing, and yeah, I kind of stole his lines and the block on him and took off. I think I got the lappers a little bit better than he did, so that's a good gap.
Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, Gary.
Now let's take a look at some of our point standings here in the Pro Stock Division. Morgan, of course, with that win out front of Sean Crapo, but in Pro Open, he has come on strong and has found himself now up to third.
A reversal of fortunes for Blair Morgan. He come in second in Pro Stock. Now he's your leader. Pro Open, he's back, but he is closing and charging strong on Carl Kuster. DJ Ekstrom, do not count him out at the end of the year.
Don't count him out at all. Remember, Kuster still is leading in the Pro Open points, and he had a third here, and he's showing some incredible speed. This is going to be a very, very interesting latter two-thirds of the season.
That's it for Sean.